Hi, this is Bill Koenig from Straight Circle Martial Arts, and today we're going to do 10 different punches. Number 10, straight punch. Every style has straight punches. They vary. The only thing you really got to know about a straight punch is whether you're a hip style or whether you come from the hand, I don't care, is you got to make sure it lines up and your distance is correct. The problem with straight punches is people tend to go like this and that they're at the end of their extension and they can't hit. When you do this, you want to be close enough to where you can hit and go through them. Also, you want to make sure when you do this that you don't get yourself so jammed that your hip's behind you and there's no power on the punch. So whether you're a jab type punch or a cross or whatever, make sure your alignment's good and make sure your distance is good. Number 9, hook punch. I've learned a couple hook punches over the years. There's the more traditional hook punch, which is like you see in a boxing type hook punch where people come and they throw the hip, right? And they hit like this, right? The other hook punch that I find more efficient is more like this, is where it's more of a snap, right? You'll see this almost like a pull-in, like this from your arms. So when this comes in, it snaps that way, or it snaps like this. It's smaller, it's more efficient. You can add twist to it. It's just a sharper punch. So everyone probably learns it like this because it's easier to learn. Myself, I like to kind of snap it. Also, I find when I do this, it puts me in a better spot in my center, and I get more power out of it that way. Number 8, click punch, right? When you punch with your hands, a lot of people, what they do is they tense really, really hard and they don't get any power out of this. Myself, I like to kind of explode onto the punch with my hands, right? So if he's like this, what I do is this comes like this and it pops, right? There's that like this. So it clicks. The only problem with this punch is you have to be very accurate with it. A lot of times what people do with this is they throw it too far back and they try to click, and when this guy walks in, like, they break their hand, right? It's more like a short punch because if you give him a lot of space and time, there's a good chance you're going to roll your wrist. So do yourself a favor when you learn this one, learn it close. Don't make it a long punch. Number 7, piston. Piston is it's another straight punch. The only difference is it comes from the elbow. It's like, you'll see this almost jab like this, right? It pushes from your elbow like this. So when he comes in, it's not a hip twist. It's it explodes from here. You almost got to imagine you take your arm and you push it like this. This works really well when you step with it and you add weight, because you're not going to have that heaviness you would have when you throw that big body wind up. So when you throw this, do yourself a favor. Make sure it's just from the elbow like that, and it's piston, right? Number 6, uppercut. Traditionally, what are you taught in an uppercut, right? Like a boxing uppercut. Drop, come up, go, like this, and there's that twist. And I think everybody knows that, and that's fine. The reality is when you throw this uppercut, you really don't need as big a twist as you think. If you throw with the hands and you let your body kind of pop on it, instead of leading your body and bringing your hands, you'll get just as much power on it. And it'll be shorter, right? If I go like this, and I go like this, he sees it and he wants to jump. But if I pop him, just short, right? So it's just like that. There's that shortness to it. Also, I want to get this into it, right? That twist. The other version of this is like from a piston, right? You could also uppercut just very simply like that, which is a really brutal, awful shot if you've ever had it done to you. So shorten it a little bit. You'll have better luck. Number 5, twist punch. We all learned this. Hiya, right? So the problem with a twist punch is we do it in the air, we do it in forms, and we think this is the punch, but it's not. This actually happens after the punch. If I throw this punch, and I go like this, and then I hit him. There's nothing on it. It's a lousy punch. What I really want to do is when I hit him, is I want it to enter and then go like this. Right? I'm trying to rip and tear into the work. So every time you throw this thing, it should come in and then turn. Don't turn and then hit, because you just kind of used all the power up and there's nothing on the blow. So looking for. Number 4, knuckle punch. We all done this in karate, right? Pounds per square inch. You always want to get that force down into the knuckles, into a small space. Good and bad. You do get a lot of penetration with that knuckle like that into a small space. The bad part is it doesn't go in as deep as a hole punch, which I'll teach you in a minute. When you hit with a knuckle, you're trying to go to a point, and then you're trying to take all that force and put it into that point. And it's great for certain things like nerves. The other bad thing with it is a small point. So a lot of times what happens is if you hit a surface area with that small point, it will flick off, right? It's very hard to take a little point and hit a moving target and not have it kind of come off. So knuckles are good in certain situations. Like when I really do use them, what I like is when I'm going to stick them into a nerve, or I'm going to stick it into an arm, or I'm going to stick it into a point that really hurts. Anytime I can take a knuckle and stick it into something, that's when I like to do knuckle punching. Whole fist punch. Whole fist punch is exactly what it says it is, the opposite, right? You want to take your whole fist and hit him with the whole fist. Good and bad again. The bad is you're never going to get into a little spot. You're never going to hit those little points. And that's fine, because most of us can't do that really at speed anyways. What a whole fist does is it allows to take that concussion and go through the whole body. So if he comes to me, I want to take this whole fist and just boom and sink that on him and make that sound when it hits, right? It goes into the body. The nice thing about the whole fist is there's more surface area and there's less chance that it slides off. There's also less chance that you break your knuckles by hitting something hard. So when you learn this, think of it as a whole fist, right? And try and find the places that don't hurt the fist when you punch on it. It's a great punch. It's very heavy. Number 2, the pullback. We all do pullback, right? Snap, snap. I don't think most people do it right. When you do a pullback, the reason you're doing it is, I don't want you to think that you're just trying to pull this back. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to throw energy into him like a stick, and I'm trying to break the stick off inside his body, right? There's a snap when it hits. The problem people have when they learn this is they hit surface and try to pull back. They try to pull back so fast that they never really get deep penetration on it. When you do this, you want this to really enter, and then when you hit that point where you feel it's good, it should crack off inside it. That is a very advanced concept. It takes a long time to learn. But again, if you're going to do it, you need to practice depth first. You need to practice heaviness to where you can feel the depth before you start pulling back. If you start pulling back too soon and too early, there'll be weak punches and they won't work. Number 1 is the triangle punch. Triangle punch is a straight punch. It's just on a triangle, right? Like this. The reason you use it is because when you're getting close, you're not going to be able to do a traditional straight punch the way most people are taught, like this or like this. So if he comes to me, right, and he's in close, and I try to do a straight punch, what happens is do you see how my wrist starts to do this because the angle is wrong? What I need to do is make a triangle and go from here to here. So when I hit him, it triangles like this, right? It goes this way. It doesn't go this way. I've seen so many people try to do this close, but it just kind of affects the structure of your wrists, and then the hits are weak. So if you're going to hit really short with a punch, it's very important that these triangle like this so that you can get the correct angle and the correct distance to hit powerfully. This has been Bill Koenig from Straight Circle Martial Arts. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and like. And for additional videos, please visit my website, straightcirclemartialarts.com.